thinking, if I coughed or if I sneezed or whatever,
Is this the Rona coming on?
and, which is so silly, but I mean, it's so weird. And as I was sitting here, I was thinking to myself, or we're gonna be walking around with freaking crazy ass gas masks with like big cones on the front or strange breathing apparatuses. I mean, I don't know. It's just really strange times we're living in right now. Hi, I want to welcome you back to my channel. My name is Dina, and I am the author that is reading my book called Neesa, the first book in my original reality book series. And I'm welcoming you back, but I'm also welcoming myself back. I just came back from visiting my mom and sister up north, and I don't know about you, but in this whole COVID-19 environment, even though I went to visit my family, whom I know are safe and healthy. I mean, I was kind of paranoid, thinking, if I coughed or if I sneezed or whatever, is this the Rona coming on? And which is so silly. But anyway, if you're new to my channel, welcome. We are now moving on to chapter 23. So if you are starting now, you might want to go back to the beginning so you can get introduced to the characters and follow the story along from the beginning to see where they're at right now, because I'm about to drop some spoilers on chapter 22. Ben finally said the L word, and for real, and meant it and everything. So it's so funny because in chapter 21 they had their second instance of sexual activity, and then kind of cuts off, and then we go straight to a few months later, and at the point in the story in chapter 22, it's Thanksgiving, and Neesa and Ben were well into their relationship and went to a Thanksgiving dinner party at Claire's. And chapter 22 was a short one. It was a quickie. But I still think a goodie because Ben said the L word. So let's find out how Neesa reacts to hearing that coming from Ben for the first time. And let's get on with chapter 23. Chapter 23, Neesa's perspective. After Ben's confession, I could barely focus on anything else. As the meal wound down, I drifted in and out of conversations, all while replaying what he'd whispered in my ear. Does he mean it? There were times in the past when I could have sworn he was going to say those three little words, but I dismissed them as my overactive imagination. To hear him say it now, amid the fear I harbored inside, eased my worries, but only a little. He sat next to me, stroking my thigh under the table, his hand possessive and warm through the thin material of my dress. The small circles he made with his fingers diverted my inner dialogue to what he would do to me when we got home. The thoughts were bittersweet in light of the suspicion I was keeping from him. Ben announced to the party, "Whatever pie is left over, I'm taking home with me." I said, "No, you're not." I jabbed him in the ribs and he mock reacted as if it hurt. Calvin spoke up, "If everyone is finished, I've got a space heater out back and plenty of beer left in the keg." I turned to Ben and told him to go ahead, that I'd stay back and help Claire clean up. I carried dishes from the dining table to the sink as she ran a soapy bath for them to soak in. She said, "I can handle this if you want to go outside with your man." I gave her a disbelieving glare, like you want to do this all by yourself. Besides, I don't mind helping. She brimmed with excitement. "Look at you! I can't believe just a few months ago Annabelle and I talked about forcing a vagina intervention on you. Like seriously, you were stuck in a rut, my friend." I said, "I know, I can hardly believe it myself." I didn't express nearly the same excitement she did as I rinsed a plate and handed it to her to place in the dishwasher. Quiet settled between us. Once again, I was preoccupied. She said, "Isn't that your glass of wine over there?" She pointed at the one that looked untouched and teased, "Did it not have enough tannins for you?" My stomach flip-flopped. I had dreaded confessing my fears, but I had to tell someone. I haven't had a period since September. Her eyes bulged, which didn't help my nerves. No, you don't think... Then she switched gears. Oh, he likes to take risks, does he? She gave a husky laugh. You should have seen that coming a mile away. I scowled. Claire, be serious. Actually, it's the opposite, but there was this one time and I don't know, afterward I spaced on it. I mean, it had been so long since I was sexually active, and with my ex, I was always on birth control. Oh my God, Claire, I'm freaking out here. Talk me down from the ledge. She grabbed me by my shoulders and shook me. It's fine. Is it him you're worried about? 'Cause I don't think you have to worry. I said, he told me he loves me. Claire's face brightened as if she was surprised, but her smile was a bit too put on. Was it possible she already knew? I said, did he say something to you before? She said, nope. She shook her head. Absolutely not. Congratulations. She brushed the last part and hugged me. I said, thanks. Look, what should I do about the whole missed period thing? Her eyes bulged again. One of the things I loved about Claire was that she was like a cartoon character, complete with a huge library of expressions. She said, I have a pregnancy test in my bathroom. I said, shh. I flapped my hands in the air and frowned. Why would you have that? She waved her hand dismissively. Oh, Calvin's been begging to plant his seed in me. She glanced around before whispering, I bought the pea stick to keep up appearances, but I'm still on birth control. What he doesn't know won't hurt him, so let's keep this between you and me, Kay? She grabbed my hand and yanked me out of the kitchen, saying, come on, hurry before someone comes in. Her bathroom was at the end of the hall outside the master bedroom. She knelt and began to rummage under the sink while I stood in the hallway, counting how many sweaters hung off her clothing rack next to the bed. Blue ones, red ones, pink ones, leopard print. She said, aha! Come inside my lair. She pulled me in and locked the door behind us. She slapped the box in my hand. Go on, we haven't got all night. I tore into the box and took the wand out, giving her an incredulous look and said, you want me to pee in front of you? She said, don't act like you haven't done it before. I said, drunken bar nights don't count. Time slowed as I lifted my dress and sat down. The room took on a hyper-real edge with the importance of each second that ticked by. I could hear my heartbeat echo inside my head. Claire said, girl, underwear? I rolled my eyes and said, yeah, I'm not wearing any, and keep your voice down. The backyard was right outside the bathroom window. I chewed my lip and stared at the shelves in front of me, which were stacked with vintage Playboy magazines. Impatient, Claire asked, what are you waiting for? I said, turn away for a minute. When she faced the wall, it finally happened, and I dipped the stick between my legs. Once I finished, I handed the stick to Claire. Claire joked, you know you're good friends when you can hold your girl's pee stick, am I right? My stomach was in knots, so I busied myself with washing and drying my hands, and then washing them again. I said, how long does it take? Claire said, a few minutes. More like a few hours. I sat on the edge of her tub, grateful that Claire was tight-lipped for once. Ben's deep laughter drifted in through the crack under the window. Maybe I should have been doing this with him. No, it was better to know the results and get a handle on my emotions first. Men didn't handle women's emotions well, right? Especially when combined with this kind of news. Claire asked, what are you going to do if it's a yes? I winced in panic. No clue. Ugh. The turkey dinner rose up and I burped. She said, I mean, are you and Ben really ready to take this step? It's only been a couple of months and you said he was scared of commitment. So how is he going to react to having a baby? Shut up, I said, and immediately regretted my harsh tone. I'm sorry, but one crisis at a time, please. Can we talk about something else? Claire said, right. How's Annabelle doing with her acting classes? I said she had to give them up. Claire said, poor thing, girl can't win for trying. I said, yeah, her husband found out and cracked down on her. She's grounded like a teenager. Claire said, he's such an asshole. I said, I know, right? What time is it? Is it time yet? Claire looked at the hula girl clock near the ceiling, and my eyes followed hers. The figure looked eerily like Claire, her hips swinging from left to right, ticking off the seconds. She said, another minute. Tick-tock, tick-tock. I said, gah! Claire jumped. What? I said, what if I'm pregnant and the baby is aware of my anxiety right now? I don't want it to feel unwanted. Claire said, I thought you didn't want to talk about it. I waved my hands in the air in a mini tantrum and she took the hint. She said, okay, well, first of all, they don't have thoughts, right? I mean, I think their brains aren't developed at this stage yet. And second, you called it an it, so I said, what does that have to do with anything? She whispered angrily before looking at the clock again. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh God, it's time. Are you ready? I said, no, wait, don't look at it. I buried my face in my hands and took a few deep breaths. Okay, tell me. Rip the Band-Aid off. All I heard was the intake of air. Okay, so you'll have to tune into chapter 24 to find out what the results are. Be sure to like the video and hit subscribe and the little bell icon so you'll be notified when the next video comes up. And I'll see you then.